Hey guys, in this short video, I will show you how to run ads for financial advisors. Last time I did this was 2 years ago, maybe 3. It was a popular video. I think it's my second most viewed video after the Wade Pfau interview. So I thought I'd just redo it and make it more updated to 2024. The Facebook ad platform changed a little bit in terms of the user experience, but the basics remain the same. So I'll just show you how to set it up from scratch. So the first thing we actually do before we set up an ad campaign, if it's going to be branded to a financial advisor and you're not going to have like some kind of unique IP, like I have this weird unique strategy that's going to get you, I don't know, twice the S&P's returns, is probably not compliant. If it's not going to be super interesting in terms of the copy, you need to really make the brand, when people search for you on Google, as clean as possible. This meaning like no disputes, no law firms trying to target you, nothing like that. Okay, so that's first thing. Second thing, you want to add good stuff, reviews, testimonials. Third thing is your website needs to look clean. Okay, so that's just some background. Okay, so if you don't do that, you're gonna hurt yourself. If you do that, you're going to help yourself get more leads and get more appointments in this case, and be able to get more clients. Okay, and actually not lose deals, right? So people, like when you have a seminar, you're having the advantage of meeting people in person. They walk into your nice office, etc. Like you're having that. You don't have that when you're virtual. When you're virtual, your office is your Google search essentially. So if your Google search does not look super clean, or there's any negative reviews that outweigh or drag down your ratings, then that's not good. So that's a big obvious one, but let's just go back to the interesting stuff to you guys, which is why you signed up for, clicks for, which is watching the ads or watching how to create the ads. So there's a bunch of ad campaigns you can create: awareness, traffic, engagement, leads, promotion, app promotion, sales. Always go for leads. That's what you want. If you want leads or appointments, go for leads. Facebook gives you what you want. If you want awareness, he will tell everybody about you and you're going to get no leads. If you want traffic, you get all the traffic in the world, you get no leads. If you want engagement, you'll get a lot of engagement, no leads. If you want leads, you get a lot of leads. If you want app promotion, you'll promote your app. If you want sales, you're not really making a transaction through e-commerce, anything like that, so it's not relevant for you, but always go for leads. Okay, so continue. There's a tailored leads campaign or the manual one. I always go for the manual one because I know what I'm doing and I don't trust Facebook with my money. If you think about it, Facebook just wants to charge you as much as possible per lead, all right? So the campaign, I usually name it around a concept. So whatever concept I'm running, I try to name the campaign around. So if it's gonna be a longevity campaign, okay? So if we're trying to make people aware of, hey, you know, there's a 50% chance if you're 65 years old, that one of you guys will live to 90. Right, then you know, if you're not gonna live to 90, your spouse has to live. You're gonna live to 90. So what's gonna happen to him or her? Who's gonna be paying for their expenses, right? So longevity risk is a big deal. So you could create a whole campaign just on longevity, right? And then from here we can go. I just like to choose advantage campaign budget because I'm assuming most of you guys are not gonna be spending $100,000 plus a month. If you're spending anywhere between $1,000 to $5,000 a month, just use advantage campaign budget. Under 5K a month, you probably can only test 5 to 10 creators a month. So it does not make sense to get super sophisticated. So let's just assume you're spending 5K a month. Let's just assume you spend 3K a month. So it's $100 a day. Just give it $100 a day and keep it super simple as possible. Then we're gonna go to next. One cool thing you can do is the bidding strategy. So this is a little underrated, but you can actually negotiate with Facebook. You can tell Facebook, hey, I don't want the expensive appointments or the expensive leads. I only want the leads that are at a certain price. And you can basically negotiate with Facebook and tell them, hey, if you think that you're gonna get me appointments at like $1,700 like a seminar would, which is ridiculous, don't get me that. I only want the appointments that are like $200 or $300 or $400 in appointments, right? So you can have a cost per result goal, aiming to have some appointments at like, if it's $500 for example, it'll get you some appointments at $700, some at $200, but it will average about $500. The other one is bid cap. So you really don't want anything over 500, which means it's probably not going to spend as much as you want, especially if your creatives are not that good compared to your competitors. But you can basically start off here with the cost per result goal and tell Facebook, hey, you can get me stuff that's a little above that, but as long as we average this number, then we're good to go. So this is a sneaky one that most people don't use, especially people that they're not living in the Facebook ad manager like myself and my team are. But that's a good one if you just want to like kind of hedge your risk, right? Then from there, there's instant forms and messenger. You always want to go to a website. The instant forms, they get you a lot of leads, but they're low quality. So don't recommend that. But if you have a lot of time on your hand, just send it to Messenger. If you don't have a lot of money, you have a lot of time, send it to Messenger. Messenger is basically Facebook's chat platform if you use Facebook. That will probably give you, if you basically have like $1,000 a month for budget, use Messenger, because then you'll be able to just tell people, hey, respond to this ad, and they're going to be able to message you in Facebook. And then from there, you take it from there. You just work the lead in there, right? But if you got a little more money, you want to go to a website and you want to send them to another page, okay? And then here, it depends on what you want in terms of the conversion. Usually we always, not usually, but really always, we aim for optimizing for a booked meeting. So I don't really want to optimize for leads or for traffic or for video views or anything like that. I want to optimize for a booked meeting. And our target for a booked meeting as of right now with the election and everything is about $300 to $350 per meeting. So I'm just going to put 350, and that really gets our clients about a 5x return on investment on average. Okay, so I just put that there. So that means that Facebook will basically, try to get the most conversions, try to keep the average cost around 350. Some results may cost more, some may cost less. So that, just as I've explained, it's going to get you some meetings at 400, some as 300, but it's going to average around 350. Okay, this attribution setting thing, here's what this means. This means that if somebody clicks your ad, they come back like 6 days or 7 days later, and then they book a meeting, it's still going to count. And if somebody does not click your ad, but they just see the ad, and then a day later, less than 24 hours later, they book a meeting, not even through Facebook, it's still going to count towards Facebook. Okay, so this is fine. Just keep it as is. Dynamic creative, turn it off. It's just a little messy right now. Locations, you can choose to target all throughout the US. You can choose to target specific areas. Usually we target US excluding New York, just because most of our clients cannot really get clients from New York because of the insurance laws there. This is our typical targeting, but sometimes we'll exclude other places. Sometimes we'll target specific states. Depends on the clients. And then here, you don't want to use the broad targeting because Facebook does not have any idea who you're targeting, so it's just going to waste a lot of money. So you want to be able to be a little bit more specific with your targeting. So age-wise, obviously you want to target whatever age you're targeting. So most of you guys are not targeting 19-year-olds or 16-year-olds. You're targeting people that are about to retire. Our targeting is usually 55 plus. Some people that are selling IULs and other things, they're usually targeting 40, 45 to maybe 65 plus. If you're doing Medicare, obviously you're in the 60s. So it depends on your target market, right? So for us, it's 55 plus. The reason why is if they're within 5 years of retirement, they're most likely either able to move some of the money they have that is not tied up, or if they're 60 plus, obviously they're able to move their money in and kind of better plan for their retirement. So here we're down to about 40 million people to 50 million people that we can reach in Facebook, which is a lot. That's about 15% of the US. What you have to know about the market is it's growing. Like we're getting 10,000 people retiring every day. 15% of them are millionaires. So basically 1,500 people are millionaires that are getting added to market every day. That's another 45,000 people every month. That's new potential clients that we're getting added to the market every day. So it's a growing market, retirement planning is, and it's an aging population, and most of the wealth is baby boomers' hands basically. And we're here to help them stretch that wealth because a lot of them need the help. Okay, so here in the targeting, you can put in basically financial advisor. One thing you want to watch out for is you want to go for the interest, not job title. If you use job title, it means that you're going to be targeting financial advisors themselves, right? Or employers. You're going to be targeting financial advisors themselves. So if you want to show your ads to financial advisors, use a job title. But most of you guys want to target people that are interested in working with a financial advisor, then you can do it like this. And then from here, I like to use the define further. Here you can do different things. So you can do high net worth individual who's also interested in being in a financial advisor, right? That's like one interesting thing. And then depending on your ad and your brand and everything, you can add like other things that you think they might be interested in, right? So you can put in here luxury, for example. Right? So you're really, with this, you might be able to target people that are the wealthier of the targeting. But now we're down to like 100,000 people, which is, in my opinion, too low in terms of a range. So if I remove that one, it's going to go up to 1.7 to 2 million people, which is big enough. And then you can just add things here. You can add in, financial services, financial plan, blah, 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 and then add other things here to make this larger. So you can add in first class travel, expensive taste, blah, blah, blah. So that's one way you can target a little bit wealthier folks. Advantage Plus is okay. okay. If you're gonna not do that, then you may want to turn off Messenger, turn off audience network, and basically only target Facebook and Instagram, depending on your ads. So some ads look good on Messenger and audience network, some don't. So it just depends on what works for you best. We see that most of our spend actually goes to Facebook, a little bit to audience network, a little bit to Messenger, and our best ROI is here. And a lot of times just turn off Instagram. Instagram is not so bad for retargeting, but most of our highest ROI is here. Also, by the way, you're able to target using this cool little thing called custom audiences. So this is where we get a lot of our advantage as a company, because everybody can do this. Like I can just show you how to do this and you're able to do that, right? But we have our own ways of targeting. We're able to retarget Google searches based on the keywords they search. Somebody goes in Google and searches for annuities or retirement planning, or I'm looking for a financial advisor, or how to leave my financial advisor. We can retarget them there on Facebook, basically. How? We have proprietary software is able to do that. We have our own database. Over the past 3.5 years, we basically booked tens of thousands of meetings. We use that as a lookalike audience in Facebook. So we tell Facebook, hey, here's these tens of thousands of people that we booked on advisors' calendars that have more than $500,000 and want to work with a financial advisor. Make audiences that are similar to that at 1%, 2%, 3%. So that's also a powerful way to target. We also buy data, right? So we buy data of people that are about to retire that have more than a certain amount of investable assets. And we give that to Facebook and we create lookalike audiences from that. So the targeting helps a lot. And that's one part of the equation, okay? I would say one part is how you structure the ad account, which is very important. You can have good ads, good targeting, bad account management. It's not gonna work so well. If you can, just with good ads, good targeting, you can have some great results if you have great account management, okay? If you have basically great media buying. But everything has to start from good. You have to have good ads and good targeting. If you have bad ads, you can't, like it's not gonna work. You're basically as good as your weakest link in the chain. So if you have bad account management or bad media buying, it's not gonna work. If you have bad ads, it's not gonna work. If you have bad targeting, it's not gonna work. So all of them have to be at least good. And then if any one of them is great, then it takes you to the next level and increases your profitability and you're able to grow a lot faster. All right. What else should I show you here? That's pretty much enough. You don't need to get too granular here. One thing you have to think about is a lot of this comes back to the psychology of the clients, right? So if you're basically booking an IUL meeting, I don't think you need a lot of time for somebody to make a decision about that. But if you're booking a meeting with somebody to discuss their retirement plan, they're not going to talk to you from day one. They're probably going to want to see your ad a couple of times before they talk to you. So you have to think about, okay, I got to actually bump up my frequency. I got to show them the ads multiple times. And I know that most people will probably take a week or two to actually book a meeting, right? So when you're running the ads, if you're like, oh, I spent $300 and they got nothing and it's been 3 days. Well, you're not supposed to get anything, unless you just hit a home run, which is rare. But if you did, then good for you. That's awesome. Spend more on that. You're not supposed to get anything in the first few days, not even the first week or two, because most people, they don't know who you are. They just started seeing your ad. Like, why would they book with you? They need to see you multiple times, talking about different things, sending them to different videos to say, okay, well, this guy's here. I've seen him multiple times. Seems legit. Let me see what he has going on. Okay, I've learned a thing or two. Awesome. Okay, great. So that's something to think about. We're not selling $10 stickers. You can make a decision about that immediately. The decision cycle for somebody to make a decision to even meet with you is probably going to be at least a week or two, okay? If not more, right? And that this decision for somebody to transfer all their assets to you is probably a couple months, right? That's why a lot of advisors will tell you, hey, well, I have good months, bad months, and that's just how the business is. Well, that's not really how the business is. That's really affected by your sales cycle. When I give you an appointment in October, you might not close them until late November, maybe December, maybe January, right? Because with the holidays, if you get an appointment in February, you might close them in March, April, potentially May, and that's okay. That's normal, right? So you just got to get used to that, because you're asking people to move hundreds of thousands of dollars, sometimes millions of dollars. Might seem like an easy ask for you, but it's like the decision of their lifetime. They're really hoping that they're only going to be using one advisor and they're going to be taken care of. So it takes them some time to think about, to mold it over, talk to their spouse, talk to their niece who's a CPA, talk to their existing advisor, think about it again, and even if it's a great deal, they just want to take their time with it, right? So yeah, think about that when you're creating your ads. Okay, now creative part here, it depends on your goal. So how we do it, I'll tell you how we do it, and then it depends on your goal. In the ad copy, just add text. We basically try to educate. So our ads are not ads that say, hey, if you're looking for a retirement plan, I can help you. My name is so-and-so, and book a call. There's a very small percentage of people out there that would qualify for that. What percentage of people out there are just looking for a retirement plan? Almost nobody. But how many people out there are worried about running out of money in retirement? 67% of people, okay? So if you are going to be opening your message with, are you worried about running out of money in retirement? Do you feel like your current plan may not be enough? Do you feel like you might outlive your savings? That's gonna get you a lot more people than just, hey, my name is John Doe and I'm with Northwestern Mutual, and if you need help with life insurance or retirement planning, I'm here to help you. That's not really gonna cut it out. You wanna think about what will people respond to when they're in scrolling mode. They're responding to something that's interesting, something that's gonna get them to stop, something that's gonna get them to learn something new potentially, or have a laugh or be entertained, right? Maybe a combination. So our ads, our copy is usually very long, not short, and is usually educational. Okay, so we're gonna educate them about, hey, if you're worried about running out of money, well, did you know that it's probably because of this, or this? And let me tell you, how these 3 problems or risks work. And then at the end of it, after spending about a minute or 2 going through the copy, they're like, oh wow, this is interesting. I wonder why my financial advisor hasn't told me about this. And then we transition to, hey, my name is so-and-so, I'm a fiduciary advisor, been doing this for 35 years, helped thousands of people, better plan for retirement. I have nothing to sell you today. This is not the plan to sell your fixed index annuity. This is not the time to sell your products or your services. This is not the time to tell them why you're the best. This is the time to get them off the platform somewhere else, because you have to keep in mind the context of the platform. People are not going to Facebook to buy something. They're going to Facebook to be interested, be educated, just waste some time, right? So, or just check out, what their friends are doing, or they're just bored. They just open Facebook because they're bored. So when you grab their attention, you don't have 30 minutes. You really have like a few minutes. You want to get them off the platform. So the call to action is usually, hey, I have something else to share with you. Could be like a free PDF, white paper, book, resource, seminar, webinar, video, etc. For us, it's a video, because we found that if I add any other steps, like, hey, register for my webinar and then wait 13 days to attend my webinar, where I know that less than 20% chance you're actually going to attend, and 80% of people that are going to show up are going to get distracted by life or by the tens of or hundreds of ads they're going to see between now and my webinar 2 weeks from now. So they're not even going to remember what's happening 2 weeks from now. You don't even remember what you clicked on today, let alone 2 weeks ago. So we try to not send them somewhere where I'm gonna add too many steps to getting them on the phone. Because really what we want is we want to get them on the phone in a consultation with a financial advisor or with somebody from the sales team of the company, right? So what we do is we say, hey, we have a short 10-minute video that's gonna show you XYZ, and it's educational, nothing for sale. Click below to watch it. And if they're interested enough, they click below and watch it. If the ad copy was good enough, they click below and they watch it. And then from there, that's where the website URL goes. It's usually a landing page where we don't sell the firm. We don't sell anything. It's educational. It's just a video that teaches them what we promised them in the ad. And it's educational. We want to meet them where they're at. They didn't go to your website to buy something. They went to your website to watch the video. So get in the video, teach them something as soon as possible, provide value first. And then after you do that, a certain percentage of them, not everybody, a certain percentage, even as small as it is, but it's not going to be enough of them. They're going to say, hey, well, this sounds interesting. I could go talk to my advisor. I could think about it myself. Don't want to, or can't, or don't have the time, or whatever. Let me just talk to this guy. What do you have going on? I'm curious about your services. So they go and book a meeting with you. Okay, so that's the whole process we use. Educate, conversation. Okay, so we educate in the ad copy, call to action to an educational video, call to action to a Calendly meeting. That could be 15 minutes, could be 45 minutes, depending on how your sales team is structured. 15 minutes if you're doing triage calls, where you're basically, you could call them fit calls or whatever you want to call them, where you're basically trying to determine if there's an opportunity or not to help that person. Or 45 minutes if you're going straight to a consultation. Okay, so it just depends on what you have going on and how your business works. And here in the media part, again, it depends. We love video because very few people are good on video, but if you're not good on video, don't do video, do image, right? So play to your strengths. And if you're not, if you don't want to be on the image for whatever reason, don't put yourself on the photo, put something else in the photo. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. In the primary text, there are so many ways to write this these days, but usually there's a lot of formulas. Problem, agitate, solve. Okay, so problem is usually I'll say something like, did you know XYZ? Okay, did you know XYZ? Did you know that if you retire during a bad market downturn, you could speed up your rate of running out of money, or your chances of running out of money. You could increase them a lot. The reason why is sequence of returns. Here's how it works. A lot of people don't know this. Their portfolio is not set up to protect them against this. There are ways to protect them against this. If you want to learn ways how to protect against this, I don't have enough time to talk to you about it today. Click the button, watch my video, how to protect against sequence of returns and retirement. And in the video, let's going to talk about sequence of returns. Here's the sequence of returns here's why it's important to protect against it. Here's different ways to protect against it. Save 3 years of cash, buy bonds, buy annuities, whatever your strategy is, right? And then from there, you say, okay, well, if your advisor hasn't talked to you about this, I have so many other things you can talk to you about. You're probably not only facing this risk, there's so many other risks you can face in retirement that you haven't faced before, because when you go from saving to spending, there's, a whole new world of risks opens up to you, and you have to kind of fend for yourself, because they used to give you a Rolex and a pension, and now they don't. There's no more Rolexes, no more pensions. Now here's a lump sum of money. It could be a couple $100,000, could be a couple $1 million, depending on how fortunate you are and how hard you've worked. But any amount of money could run out, so you have to figure it out for yourself how to make that last throughout your retirement. So happy to help you. Click the button to book a call. So that could be like one way to pitch it, right? So yeah, that's it. Make sure to set up your pixel. I'm not going to show you how to set up a pixel. There's 1,000,001 trainings on Facebook or on YouTube about how to set up a pixel, and then you just launch it. And then from there, I usually like to have at least, if you're going to spend, depending on your spend, right? So I want to spend at least $500 per ad to find out what's going to work. And the more ads I have, the better chances I have of having something that's going to really, really work. And the more wild I like to make the swings. So I might not change the landing page too much, but I might change the ads a lot, especially in the beginning. So if I'm going to have like a longevity ad, I might have another ad not talking about longevity, but talking more about sequence of returns, or another ad talking about portfolio allocation, or it just depends on what concepts I want to have. So I'm not going to have them be too similar, especially in the beginning. So if you have, say, $3,000 you want to spend, $100 a day, I would say dedicate the first like 2 weeks just testing, right? I would give it $100 a day. So in 2 weeks, it would be $1,400. So you could probably test, let's say 3 ads with that, 3-4 ads. So I'll probably have 3-4 ads there. And with the ad sets, I wouldn't make it too narrow like what I had there with the luxury and stuff. I'd just make it like, I just have it as wide as possible if I don't have that much money, because I don't really know what's gonna work, right? So but investment strategy, investment management, blah, blah, blah. So if it's just within my age range and I have the right topics here or interests, not job titles, obviously, then I'm good to go. If I have like 15 million people, that's enough, right? So that's the tutorial. So depending on your budget, you can test things as soon or as fast or as slow as you want. We really require a much higher budget than $3,000 a month, because we can really do our best work with the larger budgets and get the best results faster. I'm assuming that most people who listen to this, they're probably not going to have a budget that's too much, like not too much. It's not going to be too much above like $3,000 a month. Okay. So if that's you, $100 a day, you can get some clients, and you want to think about your cost of acquisition. So if you're going to be thinking that, hey, I'm going to spend $3,000 a month, I'm going to get like 20 clients a month, and they're all going to be $1 million clients, that's probably an unrealistic expectation, right? So you want to think about, okay, what is my current cost to acquire a client through seminars or webinars or whatever it is? If it's $5,000, $15,000, $20,000, $10,000, whatever your cost to acquire clients is right now, look at how much money you've spent, how many clients you got, and what's your time worth in dollars, the time of everybody else involved in getting a client. Add all of that, and that's your fully loaded CAC. That's your fully loaded cost per acquisition for clients. If you're doing better than that on Facebook, then just do more of it, right? So if you're getting clients for $15,000 from Smart Asset, and you're getting clients from Facebook for $7,000 or $10,000, I would say spend more on Facebook, right? If that's the opposite, spend more on the other platform, So you want to have realistic expectation. You're not going to spend $3,000 a month and get like 10 clients that all have, $3 million, So just compare it against what you have already. And if it's better, then spend more. If it's not, then spend less. I would say probably, it's worth figuring out. So spend enough to figure it out, and then just keep spending more on it. Okay. So that's it for my video. I highly recommend you go to my YouTube and watch. Which video should you watch? Sort by popular. Currently, these are my most popular videos. I would say watch this one. This one's pretty good about Facebook ads. Obviously, watch the original one. That one I might have mentioned some things that I haven't talked about before. If yeah, here it is. And I would say watch my interviews with Aaron. He's one of our fastest growing clients. They've grown from basically 1 advisor to 15 advisors in 2 years, from 10 million a year of new AUM to over 200 million a year of new AUM in 2 years. A bunch of interviews with him. Watch my interview with Wade Pfau. He's a really interesting researcher in the space, gives you a lot of ideas about how to market. This video shows you about how we're different from webinars, so you can watch that as well. But that's really it. Hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video. Make sure to click subscribe on the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.